Well, you're here today because you're being charged with murder and kidnapping.
I don't know anything about that, so.
This creature you see is 32-year-old Antoine Phillips. At this very moment, Antoine thinks he's about to get away scot-free after murdering his girlfriend, Jamie Fulton, a murder he has no idea was caught on camera.
I have 45 minutes of video. See that?
Wow.
Because for 45 minutes, he would be recorded attacking and killing Jamie. Now through a trail of devastating secrets and lies, detectives will slowly realize that they are not dealing with a concerned boyfriend.
I've never loved somebody like I love her, and
they are dealing with a monster.
I am not trying to get in trouble for domestic violence. So
now you're in trouble for murder.
It was the night of May 18th, 2021 in Blendon Township, Ohio, when drivers on Westerville Road near Morse Road noticed something terrifying in the southbound lanes. Lying motionless in the middle of the road was an individual, as multiple cars ran them over. In the minutes leading up to this, the Blendon Township Police Department had received multiple calls about a man and a woman arguing in the area. Tragically, cops were able to connect the dots before they even arrived at the scene, because by the time they did, they found 35-year-old Jamie Nicole Fulton as the tragic victim of the incident drivers had reported. Born and raised in Columbus, she was known by family and friends as the light of their life, a light that was stolen by someone and left to die in the middle of an intersection. But by who? Fortunately, it wouldn't take long to answer that exact question. There had been a used car dealership equipped with surveillance cameras on Westerville Road that could capture everything that had occurred. In the footage that was retrieved, a man can be seen getting into an argument with Jamie, but then things take a violent turn. He begins assaulting her and attacking her before dragging her into the southbound lanes of active traffic and walking away. As luck would have it, employees at a nearby speedway were able to tell officers who the man in the footage was, since he was a regular at the store. 32-year-old Antoine Phillips, Jamie's on-again, off-again boyfriend. Although he had fled the scene and his home, U.S. Marshals were able to track him down and bring him in for questioning 2 weeks later.
Okay. When's the last time you saw Jamie?
I seen her 17.
Okay.
I was.
Of May?
Yeah.
Okay. What'd you guys do that day?
I'm an artist, so I make music. So she was with me. We had just separated. She got real bad on drugs. So we had kind of just trying to figure things out, you know, because we were the greatest. I mean, our love was crazy. Like, I've never loved somebody like I love her, and she made it out there. She's never loved me like she's loved anybody else.
So you both loved each other?
Oh, definitely.
For 2 years?
Yeah, through hell and back.
So on the 17th, when you make music, like, where do you make music at? Do you make it at home or? Okay.
Studio.
So she was with you on the 17th?
Yeah, she had got, how she even got with me, she was with a couple other friends, and I had got a random message. She wasn't responding. I hadn't seen her in a week and a half because we got into an argument and then just went our separate ways, and then she was wasn't responding. And then I got random messages like, "Hey, I need your help." And I'm like, "This is weird. You need my help?" Usually I'm asking you for help. You need my help? And she said she was being held captive, and she needed help to get out of where she was at. And I was like, "Well, I don't know where you at. I don't know who you're dealing with. You know, you kind of just left. So I don't know what you want me to do." Like, and this has been consistent for like 4 months where we'll be together and then she'll leave, and then she'll be calling me to come get her or calling her dad to come get her. And I mean, I don't have a vehicle, so usually her dad gets her, picks her up and stuff, and then she rides the bus or he'll bring her to me. And I kept telling her, like, I just sat in jail for 4 months on a DV with you. You know, you dialed 911. Why aren't you dialing 911 for the situation you're in? And she was like, I didn't have my phone, and they surrounded the house, 2 dudes and a woman. I'm like, so you want me to have my mom bring me there? And my mom is like totally not that type of person. So like, she's not even really allowed at my mom's house because she is always on drugs. So my mom doesn't, my mom's trying to help me get my life together. So me being around drugs, I would lose my mom for sure. So, kept telling her, call 911. That's your best option. Or why don't you call your dad? Anytime we've ever gotten into it and you call your dad, he comes. So why are you not calling your dad? She's like, well, all right, I messaged him. He's asleep. I'm like, okay, well, take off running out of the house and scream and yell because, white girl in Blendon Township, Blendon area, oh, you're definitely going to get noticed. So, because that area is crazy. So, I'm like, that's all you gotta do. Then she's like, oh, my dad answered the phone. He said the same thing you said, dial 911, but he's coming to get me. So I said, all right, well, that's a plus. So I'm like, well, you can either come to me or you can go to his house, but they wouldn't let her stay there. So that's why she would be in the street. So I violated an ankle monitor.
The ankle monitor Antoine is referring to was put on him because of domestic violence charges against the very woman he claims to have been trying to help, Jamie. And though we found nothing to verify his story about Jamie being kidnapped, one thing was certain: Antoine was no sanctuary for her. Over the course of their relationship, Antoine had racked up several domestic violence charges. In multiple incidents, he had attacked Jamie with different objects, like wrenches and box cutters. And this sleazebag had just finished a 4-month stint in jail for those charges, which is also where he got the hand injury he keeps bringing up. Tragically though, Jamie wasn't even his only victim. One of his ex-girlfriends had filed multiple SA charges against him, leading to outstanding warrants. Now, Antoine's about to realize that murder will be added to that list.
So I was like,
Was that the 17th?
so I was like, I don't want to come get you because, for one, you've been gone a week and a half. Like, I'm torn. I've been at my mom's house, trying to figure things out, trying to got my job back. So I'm like trying to get back to working. I got this case I've been fighting for months. I gotta, deal with. And, which in court, it was told I cut my ankle monitor off, and I don't understand how that even came about. So it happened.
Did you go and get her on the 17th then? Did you actually go?
Her dad brought her to my mom's house.
Okay.
And my mom didn't understand that, period. Like, this man hates your guts. He's not helping y'all. Why would he bring her to you? But she's out in her comfort. So she always came to me. Well, she got dropped off and she only had a bruise on her lip, and it just looked like she was from smoke. You know what I'm saying? It didn't look like anybody beat her. I really didn't get a chance to look at her because I was so busy. I just was happy that she's safe and sound, so I didn't really cope with it. Later that night, I broke down and was crying because she really didn't want to talk about much, but then she told me Cleveland and 22nd, and then she started telling me a little bit more detail. A guy named Supreme, and then I found a bunch of, so I kind of told her, like, I can't, you already on hell other medications. I can't condone in that. Like, I can understand any drug in the world, but why would you want to be on something that is not really even a drug? Like, so she would never want to talk about it. She would kind of just force it upon me, you know what I mean? Like, well, don't judge me. Don't judge me. I'm like, I love you to death. I'll never judge you, but you gotta be honest. That's the key to anything, is being honest, communication. And we were trying to work on that for 6 months. Because I was locked up for a DV, a domestic violence with her that was, I don't even know how I got into it. The cop wrote the domestic violence up wrong. So she even was going to court. That's why we don't have a stay over at night, because she went to court, got that situated. I played out because I just wanted to get out of jail. So I played to a lesser degree or whatever. And then we went back to court to get the stay away lifted, which she stood there and talked to the judge.
Oh, yeah. Right. On the 17th, did she stay with you at your mom's that night, or?
No.
Okay.
No, my mom wouldn't let her stay.
Didn't want her staying.
Yeah, my mom didn't want her to stay because they do charges on me. I've been through hell and back with her. My mom didn't understand why you even deal with this girl no more.
So mom didn't want any of that at that
My
time?
mom didn't even want. Like,
so where'd you guys stay that night?
Before that, I've snuck her around, or I got violated. What started my violation too, before I had to go get her before, is we would sleep outside in the car, and I thought I was still in range. Well, I guess I wasn't. They're like, you're out all night. I'm like, huh?
All for your monitor?
Yeah, I'm like, how was I out all night? I was sitting out sleeping in the car, and one of the guys like, oh yeah, man, you can't do that. And I'm like, I thought 150 feet, so I'm thinking the curb is not 150 feet from the window. And, that's the love of my life. I didn't want her in the street.
So let's go, after mom didn't want you there, let's go to the next day.
So
let's go to the 18th.
No, it wasn't the next day. She didn't want her there, so we were, she had a friend on the west side. So we went out to the west side, rode the bus. And we got there, and it wasn't nothing but a big house. So I'm like, I can't be here. It's not somewhere I can be. I'd rather go back to hoteling or just hang around my friends, because my friends don't be on drugs like this. So she didn't like the agreement, but we did. So I was like, look, this is what I'll do. I'll borrow some money from my mom or whatever, and get a hotel. If we can't get a hotel, we stay here one more night, and then I'll figure it out, because I'm going back to work. I could probably borrow some money and it just come out my check. So I stayed there, whatever. I didn't have my medication or nothing, so I kind of had a headache and stuff, so I ended up going to sleep. Well, next day, wake up, go to try to get money from my mom, and my brother-in-law, them were all into it. She gets mad because her dad was sending her money, but she couldn't figure out how to adapt her card to get the money. And then we have a ride, we're on the bus, it's already getting late. So I'm like, all right, let's go to my mom's house, pick up my bank card, because I was going to let her use my bank card. And so we left from there, but by the time we got to Morse in Cleveland or whatever, the C-Max was done.
Okay.
So there wasn't no bus no more. So I'm like, well, I don't know what you want to do, because I don't want to go back out west. I don't want to go. I'm trying to get my shit together. I'm trying to get clean. I'm trying to do these things, and that's against the grain, because my mind's weak, and I'm taking me on medication. I got a broke arm, my hand's broke. I shouldn't even be, doing this. And plus, I gotta get ready to turn myself in and face this probation, because I don't want them thinking I'm running from a case. I'm just scared. I don't know. I don't understand my case. I don't understand what's going on. I don't even understand. Okay. Obviously, she went to the bathroom, do her thing. Right then and there, I knew, I'm not stupid. I know what's going on. So I'm sitting outside and I'm just contemplating like, I need to leave because I'm gonna end up doing the drugs too. I already know. I've been doing drugs with her because I didn't want her thinking that she couldn't be herself. So I dumbed down to her level a bunch of times, you know. I even had to go drop for my probation and stuff, and I know I dropped dirty. And I did not want to drop. So I just did it, and I was gonna go to rehab. But I wanted to get her stable before I went to rehab, and whatever probation situation was gonna happen, I wanted to get her stable because I didn't want her in the street. She's not built for the street at all.
Keep in mind that even though Antoine loves to hate on Jamie, he was definitely the biggest douchebag you can imagine. Jamie didn't have her own place to stay, and rather relied on Antoine for housing, before which she had bounced between trap houses, shelters, and the street. And take a wild guess on how Antoine repaid that vulnerability and trust. By being addicted to every drug on the spectrum and taking out the anger from those on Jamie.
So after that, she came out and she was upset, saying she couldn't find her stuff. I'm like, what stuff are you talking about? You're not giving me no lead. I don't understand what's going on. She was panicking. She's like, if I don't find this, I'm gonna have problems. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? You know, I'm like, the Fetty, is that what she's saying? Yo, or something. What's really going on? Because how you have so much and you don't even have, she hasn't worked in a year. Like, I buy everything for her. I pay and do everything. So I'm like, I didn't do that. So, you know, you told me that, they held you captive from, like, is it because you stole their drugs? So she's now agitated and mad. So she's just like, I don't care. I'm like, hold on now. Like, why do you always run to that thought? You know, everybody be happy if I wasn't around. I'm like, hold on, you got me, your son, you got your dad, you got a support system. You know, now you just gotta figure that part out. But after as many times as we've gotten into it and, you know, times when I've done wrong and, you know, female at this point, she's not hearing
what you're saying.
What I'm saying. And
are you guys walking down Morse Road at this point?
No.
Or you're still at the gas station?
Yeah, we're at the gas station. Okay. She's got, you know, a book bag and she like has all her stuff laid out on the side. So I'm like, right now you're looking like, you know, you're on some drugs. You're not looking good right now. So I got to walking down the road. Well, she followed me, and then that's when we were at CVS. That's across the street, because I walked across the street. And she was like, I don't want to go. Why are you going to your mom's? You just going to leave me in the street, I guess. I'm like, I'm not trying to leave you in the street. So what do you want to do? Like, we can go to my mom's house. You know, I can sneak you in, whatever I got to do. But, like, what do you want to do? You got to let me know. She doesn't get away. Like, she does this little attention thing where she'll, like, take off walking and stuff because she wants me to go. Like, that's always just.
She'll just storm off?
Yeah, that happens a lot. So it's late. So I'm like, all right, girl, let's just go to the house. I don't want to be out here. Don't want to cause these problems. And we can't go to my mom's house after leaving. Cool. We can't go to my mom's house tripping because now my mom is definitely not going to let you in. And now you're definitely going to be out in the street. And we're tired of that. She just wasn't comprehending. Like, you could tell she was like twacked out. Like, she wasn't comprehending, wasn't going on. No, it wasn't right in her own head. we're walking down again, and then now we're back to Morse Cleveland, and we're walking down, and she sits down again. She's like, I gotta use the bathroom. So I'm like, look, I don't want to just keep being out here all fucking night long. Like, it's happened so many times. Like, out south, we've sat at a bus stop for hours. Like, you know, trap houses. She just wanted to sit in a trap house. She took 20 pills just a month ago and passed out in front of Kroger's, where we had to like get her up and walk her to one of my friend's houses for her to lay in and try to sleep it off or just hydrate herself. And she slept for like 6-7 hours. And she was like, thank you for saving my life or whatever. I was at one of her friends' houses out south, and I OD'd. You know, I was in the hospital. I didn't even know. Well, they revived me in the hospital. I'm like, man, even just being around, I get caught up in the mix, and I almost lost my life.
Did you guys ever make it to your mom's house?
No. I left her from...
Where'd you leave her at?
Because she was tripping, and then I told her I didn't want to do this, and she was like, well, I'm like, you know what?
Where were you guys at when she said I want?
It's like a U-Haul.
Okay, on Morse Road.
Morse Road. This U-Haul. It's a little bench right there where you can sit at. Mm-hmm. And there's plenty of nights we've sat there and just chilled for hours. You know, numerous times. So, you know, when she was doing that, I was like, look, is there any possible way I can just get my stuff and I'll go to my mom's and you can call your dad. Your dad will come. I know for sure he will come. I can't even call him myself. She's like, I don't care. I'm just everybody be better off. Like, she just kept saying it and saying it and saying it. So I'm like, woman, this just ain't right. And then what she'll do is she'll go walk in the street. Like, that's been done multiple times. Like, she was walking down Morse Road in the street. So like, please get out the street. Please come over here. Please just get out the street.
That's in front of you all? She finally walked down?
That's the second time. She had done it on Morse and Cleveland too. Walking down, she was doing it. That's why I was not walking with her. Cause I'm like, man, this ain't cool. So we get down there, then I'm like, yo, what? I'm just gonna go to my mom's house. I'm just gonna get up and go. So that's what I did. And then she got up, rushed and got to me. We were at Speedway. And I was like, that's when I asked the people at Speedway, like, is there any possible way she use the phone or whatever? They was like, no, because we've been there before arguing, so they already know who we are. You know what I mean? They know that I live there, and they know that this is my girl. So they're like, y'all just need to go home. So I'm like, you know, why are you doing that? And she just didn't care. She was like a demon, like a devil. She didn't care at the time. So she had the bag was on the ground, so I went to grab the bag, and then she yanked the bag away from me. She was like, no. I'm like, all right. She's like, well, this is my stuff now, my phone and stuff. I'm like, all right, whatever. That's what you want to do. I went to try to grab it again, and that's what she yanked from me. So that's why I feel like it seemed like everybody thinks we were in an argument, but it wasn't an argument. It was more...
You were trying to get your clothes.
Yeah, it was not even, I really didn't care. I just was hurt that, you know, she's not comprehending what she's doing and like how she's acting and looking. She wasn't comprehending that. So it's just looking bad. So I was walking out in front of the cars and I'm like, calm down. And
now, where was that at? She's walking out in front of cars?
Yeah, this is all side Speedway.
Okay.
So I'm like, Jaden, stop. Like, you're doing absolutely the most right now.
So to recap Antoine's version of events, Jamie wasn't in the right state of mind, walking into traffic on purpose, and he was simply trying to get his belongings out of her bag and wave cars down to protect her. But that's not what anyone else saw or heard. Rachel, a resident who lived right off Westerville Road, was woken up that night by a man's voice yelling, "You need to quit or I'm going to put my hands on you." Stephanie, a driver who saw everything go down, watched as Antoine chased Jamie across Westerville Road into a parking lot, grab her, and try to attack her. Even besides these two, multiple drivers called 911 reporting a woman screaming for help in the road, not a woman trying to walk into oncoming traffic. And how does this genius try to explain all of this? By coming up with imaginary friends, particularly a mysterious man with tattoos who was following them that night. What he doesn't know at this point is that even if officers discard every single credible statement they have, there is still one piece of evidence that he cannot explain away, and that's the surveillance footage from the dealership and nearby businesses. Footage that captured 45 minutes of the entire ordeal, and footage that he is about to be confronted with.
So, let's go back to Westerville Road.
Yeah. So me and my mom, we're sitting there and we're like, look, let's go down there and let's go find Jamie. Let's go make sure Jamie's okay. I'm like, Mom, I messaged her, she's not responding. So if you want to go down there, let's go. I'm like, Mom, you want to drive? She's like, no. I'm like, all right, well, my friend will come and we can ride with her. Well, they had everything blocked off. Like you couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't walk down. You couldn't do nothing. So at that point, we're like, all right, well, my friend, Loretta, who, like, she does DoorDash, and we never, like, we were just good friends. She's like, well, I can't even get through. Like, they have the streets blocked off. What's going on? I'm like, the streets blocked off. She's like, yeah. I'm like, can you see anything? She's like, no, I'm not seeing anything. So me and my mom are like, well, what the hell's going on? I mean, sometimes she's like, was anybody following y'all or anything? I'm like, there was a dude that I seen on Morse Road, but he had tattoos, skinny black. It was like kind of almost like an African kind of. But I'm like, Mom, I just don't see nothing like that happening. I don't see nothing. She was like, well, do you really think she would hurt herself or would have committed any type? And I'm like, no, it wasn't that big of a deal.
Well, you didn't leave her at the Speedway because I have video of you two walking past Speedway and walking northbound on Westerville Road past that car lot. And you guys are getting into an argument. You're going back and forth. Kind of similar to what you told me.
Yeah.
But you said you left her at the Speedway. No,
we were on the side. Once she wouldn't give me the bag, that's when I left.
Okay. So, on the side, were you close to that car lot then?
You talking about Jordan?
Yeah, the old Jordan.
That's kind of right there. So,
okay. That's where you guys had your argument?
On the side, like Speedway, for real. So,
the problem is I have video of Jamie running out screaming for help and you chasing after her. Do you recall that?
No, she was in the street trying to commit. And that's me. If you see, I'm telling her, I'm waving at cars to get out the way.
Since Antoine claims he was just preventing her from harming herself, officers are now showing him a slowed version of the CCTV footage which shows him clearly hitting Jamie, and afterwards dragging her out to the road.
I'm begging her to please get out the street, just give me my stuff, and let's just stop this.
Why are you hitting her?
Yeah, I've never hit her.
You're hitting her right now.
No, I'm grabbing the bag. I was trying to grab the bag, and she was pulling on the bag.
So is that your phone light? What are you looking for?
Yeah, I had a phone. I had a phone.
So you're moving there? Now, why are you dragging her into the middle of the road?
That's not me dragging her. That's me I have a bag.
No, she's right there.
Yeah, and I have a bag. And I'm pulling my bag, trying to get my bag. And my phone's in my hand, too.
But you're still dragging her, and you leave her in the middle of the street.
I have a bag.
But look at this. The bag's attached to her.
No, the bag, she has the bag on her hand. She's not the one to give it to me.
Okay.
So then that's when that's when I walk away. That's when I left.
Why didn't you leave her on the side of the road? Instead of in the middle of the road.
What do you mean leave her?
You left her. This is her.
Yeah, she's sitting there. She was just sitting there like,
See
don't leave me.
Right here?
Yeah. She's sitting there saying, do not leave me. Why? How can you do this to me, police?
She got ran over so many times.
That's what we found out from the coroner at 8-something in the morning.
How did you find out from the coroner?
Because we called every hospital in Columbus. We called both jails. We called her dad, her brother. We called her friend out west. Her name is Sarah. We called her. Like, she's like, well, we're gonna figure out if she was coming here. But I'm like, I know she didn't go back to Cleveland 22nd where she was being held captive. And she said she was. So we just know that she didn't go there.
Tragically, Jamie had impacted with at least 6 cars before police shut down the road. But the interesting part was that wasn't what killed her. Forensic examination revealed that she had passed away to blunt force trauma before being left on the road, or even before the first car hit her. And you know what Antoine did afterwards? He tried to go to Mommy, walking to his mom's house, which was just a few blocks away. But upon discovering that the roads were blocked off by police, he went to his brother's place instead. Then he spent the entire night calling hospitals, pretending to search for her, and asking where Jamie was.
So watching this video here, I'm watching you. But let's go back. Let's go back.
Understand what you're saying.
Do you think it was a good idea to leave her in the roadway in the middle of the night?
I left because we had already had police being called because the dude that stopped already was like, well, I'm just gonna call the police. You won't give them the stuff, and I'm just gonna call the police. So I said, sir, I'm already gonna leave.
Police were already coming.
I have an ankle monitor and everything, and I'm already on probation, so I'm trying to stay out of trouble. So why would you bring it on to me? That's.
I have independent witnesses from these cars saying Jamie was screaming, help, help, help.
Definitely wasn't screaming no help, help, help. I was waving cars down.
I have 911 calls where
Yes.
people are saying she's screaming for help.
That's
help.
probably because
I have neighbors that heard her and you arguing.
Yeah.
Where were you after this? Did you just walk home?
No, I was at my mom's house.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Did you
my
walk
mom's
home?
house is not far from right there.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's when I went to my mom's house, and that's when I let my mom know. My mom's like, hey.
She got that car there.
When? I still haven't seen a car. Dude, like, I don't understand why.
She's not moving at all right here. She's still not getting up. She's not moving. I don't see an arm move whatsoever. Cars are passing her. You're on your way home to mom's house.
Yeah, because I didn't want to be arrested. I had domestic violence with her. I didn't want any of them issues anymore.
This is one of the most infuriating sentences to come out of this man's mouth. He didn't want domestic violence issues anymore. So instead of the very simple task of not committing domestic violence, he decided to kill his girlfriend instead. If that doesn't sound like something a once-in-a-lifetime genius would say, don't worry, Antoine's story only gets dumber. Because through the night as he pretended to search for Jamie, he also called his mother to fully confess what happened, and that he had attacked her. By the next morning, his mom had already told officers everything, and even told them where they could find his blood-stained clothes.
I have more of these.
Yes.
These are
you
usually on your way. I see this bag.
Yeah.
I also saw a bag at the crime scene.
Yeah, because I gave up. I said, I'm done with this shit. And left. I got my phone and left.
Antoine, the video's clear that you were striking her. No matter what you say, hang on a second. It's clear that you were striking her. What we want to know is, what was her condition when you left her in that road? Was she unconscious? Or did you just
She was yelling at me.
What was she yelling?
She was yelling at me like, Twan, where are you? This is like, I would care. Like, don't leave me. Do not leave me. I said, Jamie, I can't do this anymore. You're gonna put me in jail over domestic violence, and I don't understand why you keep doing this. Why won't you just give me the stuff?
So then mom tells me that You called her in the middle of the night crying, and then when you got to her house after you left Jamie, that your hand hurt and your shoulder. His side and shoulder, he said his hand was hit by a car, and he heard a noise that makes him think she got hit by a car. This is before you even got to mom's.
No, I was at my mom's when we were talking. I never called her. My phone doesn't work. You said
earlier you left and you didn't know. You just heard all the sirens and went down.
Yes.
Mom's saying you said that as soon as you got to her house that she got hit by a car. No. And that your shoulder and your hand was hurt and that it got hit by a car.
No, I never. Nobody got hit by a car.
So mom's lying to me.
No, mom did. My mom didn't know anything. And I'm sitting here, like, my hand, you can see, my hand's broken. So when I'm telling her, like, Mom, I'm trying to get my club, my bag, and she says, y'all are fighting again. I'm like, Mom, I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to get back. She wouldn't give me my stuff. She was like, you just need to leave her alone. I said, Mom, that's why I left. I'm tired of everybody telling me to leave her alone, leave her alone. She's not cooperating when she gets on, when y'all doing y'all drugs, neither one of y'all are paying attention to what y'all doing. Like,
well, we did a search warrant on Mom's house that day.
Yeah, my mom told me.
We found your clothes.
I don't know anything about that, so. And
probably from punching her.
Then my hands would be cut, sir. There's no cuts on my hands.
Well, not now. It's 2 weeks.
There would be any type of mark.
You said your hand was broken.
Yeah, my pinky has been broke. My pinky's been broke, though. I have doctor's appointments and all.
And then Lloyd tells me that he made you leave his house at 6 o'clock the next morning because he woke up and saw the news. Gave you $5 to get on the bus.
No, he didn't make me leave. When I only went over there. They're getting kicked out of their house. So they're not allowed to have company over there. So my brother woke me up and said, hey, bro, they're saying she was ran over by cars. I said, huh? I said, well, where's she at? Like, is she still at Grant? He's like, no, it's the corners that's saying that. I said, well, I'm not understanding. I got up and I was on my way to Grant, and then I got a call. I got to Grant and I got a call from my sister. My sister was like, look, don't go there. And we're talking to her dad and them to see what's going on. So at that point, I'm like, what? So I'm like, Mom. I called my mom back. My mom's like, what happened? Who got hit by a car? What went down? I'm like, Mom, they're telling me she got hit by cars. And my mom's like, well, you told me that she was in a walkway she was trying to get hit by cars. And that's why I told you to leave her alone. I said, yeah, Mom, but I was way out.
Why did you hide from us so long?
I never hid
for 2 weeks. I knew. I
never hid anything. What I did was I was already on the run.
You were on the run already.
Yeah, I was already
felony GSI.
Yes, so I was already talking to Jason.
I have obtained 2,500 different documents from Facebook messengers. I have all your conversations.
Yes.
I have all your downloads on your phone data.
Yep.
I have everything.
After Jamie's death, her father posted on Facebook calling for the imprisonment of the man who had been attacking and ultimately killed his daughter. From behind bars, Antoine decided that he wanted to battle a victim's father instead of a murder charge, making posts like, "They did no investigation, just used me," and her arguing as evidence to throw me under the bus as the fall guy. Her family acted as if they lost a loved one, when she had been crying out for help for a year to get support from them. And what people fail to realize is I'm a victim as well, due to losing my better half and having to explain this multiple times in order to get the truth out. Effectively, torturing Jamie's family even after everything he's done.
Here's my take on this, okay? You two have been going back and forth with each other for 2 years, correct?
No, we haven't been back and forth for 2 years, no. It's been like 7 months since drugs got wrote back.
Okay, since drugs got back. You care very much for her.
With everything in my heart.
And she cares a lot for you. Definitely. I've seen the messages.
I definitely believe that.
I've seen the messages that you even posted on Facebook trying to show what kind of person she was.
No, I definitely was not trying to show. I was trying to show what type of person her dad is.
I think
to be putting and blaming everything on me like I'm some bad person or I'm some person who would kill somebody when I didn't call because I got her to call him because she was being kidnapped and held captive. So I felt like, what?
I think part of that conversation that night was about that night too. About, you think that she's doing all stuff for drugs. And you had a little bit of a disagreement with her about her claiming she couldn't leave because she was fully capable of getting up and walking out the door. And then you guys had too much to drink. She had a little too much drugs. You said, I don't know how much weed or whatever you had, but I think it got a little heated there, and you were done. You had snapped and started running after her. You were tired of listening to her say no, not giving you her clothes. So she's running out in the road, asking for help, screaming for help. You catch up to her, you throw her to the ground, and you start. It's clearly on video. I can't make this up.
Yeah, that's grabbing her the bag.
But this is not grabbing a bag. This is grabbing a bag.
Yeah, but
then you drag her across the street.
I didn't drag her across the street. That's me pulling a bag, and she's holding on to the bag,
dragging her across the street.
So that I had no intentions of dragging her or nothing. That's her yanking the bag.
You're going down to jail tonight. You have numerous warrants. 2
cases.
Yeah, you got 2 warrants.
That's 1 case.
Yeah, you have 3 warrants for possession, which is the same case.
It's all one. And it's false allegations from my ex-girlfriend.
But still, they're valid warrants. You have murder and you have kidnapping through us.
I'm not understanding how I have.
You're responsible for her death. Clearly, the video that you just
because I
watched,
left, I'm getting charged with murder.
No. You her until she's no longer moving, and then intentionally dragging her into the middle of Westerville Road and meeting her again and leaving.
I wasn't dragging her. I was grabbing my stuff, but she wouldn't let it go. So how is she capable of holding on to a bag, not letting a bag go? I'm not understanding.
If she was on the ground saying, "Don't leave me," or whatever you said, she said she was doing on the ground.
Yes,
she would be
she even yelled at the lady.
She would be moving.
She even yelled at the lady, "Come get your stuff! Come get your stuff!" I'm already at my street now. So I was like, "No, I'm cool, Jamie."
We have enhanced this video. We have zoomed in. At no point was she moving after.
Then why can't you enhance it to see that I was grabbing my bag?
I have. I just watched the same thing.
And you see I have a whole cell phone in my hand.
Okay. Well, that's what you're being charged with today, okay? We got some paperwork to do. You're going to go down for murder, kidnapping, and your other warrants. Is there any questions you have for me or any statements you want to change about what happened in these videos or anything that happened in that day?
Yes, I want to know, for one, she got hit by a car.
Not just one. I'll tell you this.
How am I getting accused with a murder when she was killed getting ran over by a car? How am I getting charged with a murder?
That video right there.
That video what? That video shows me trying to get my stuff there and leaving.
Do you have your story and I have real evidence?
And then I have a whole, I don't understand how you sound assaulting somebody with a phone in my hand and trying to grab for a bag. How does she be?
Striking her with your fist.
I'm not striking her. I'm pulling a bag and she's yanking it from me.
Well, that's what we have on here.
So
that's what actually
happened. You're just saying that. You're just putting that shit on me. I don't understand.
No, we're not. The video, your first statement, Antoine, was that you left her at Speedway and went home.
Yeah, we were on the side. I said the side of Speedway.
That's what you said. That was it. And that you just tried to get the bag, sitting there, you tried to grab the bag one more time, and then you left. And it was right there at
That's
Speedway.
Exactly what I just did.
This does not show that. This shows you were
grabbing my bag and she pulls it back.
There's video from another station that shows you arguing with her for a long time at Bennington, and then it shows her running away from you and you tracking her down. You did have a phone in your hand, and that's why I asked you specifically what was going on when you left her on that road. What was going on? And you said she was screaming and yelling, but she's not moving.
Yeah, video
she was screaming and yelling, telling me not to leave.
And you left her.
because I had a whole probation violation warrant. The police have been called. I am not trying to get in trouble for domestic violence. So
Now you're in trouble for murder.
this is crazy. This is unreal. Any girl I've been with, I usually always cheated or something was wrong to where, I don't want to ruin my life. So I've dealt with that.
At the end of the day, you guys got a little out of hand here, and the anger got the best of you.
I do believe we had a bad 7 months. Yes, I agree. But I feel like drugs had a major part because we be broke.
Probably.
And then we be constantly chasing the situation. So I started agreeing and realizing that from people. So I was like, you're right. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, she would always run back.
All right, well, I'm going to get this paperwork ready so we can get you downtown, get you booked on your warrants and your fresh charges. From there, I got to present all my evidence and everything I have on this case. I have about 3 folders about this size on this and the videos, and we will let 12 jurors in the grand jury decide whether there's enough to convict you or indict you on that charge.
Shortly after this, Antoine's interrogation comes to an end. His first trial actually ended in a mistrial after prosecutors accidentally played an unredacted interview video that referenced his separate pending SA charges. Fortunately, the second time, the trial faced no such issues, and by August 18, 2023, Antoine was found guilty of felony murder and kidnapping. He was acquitted of domestic violence, not because the jury believed he didn't attack her, but because of a technicality over whether the two actually lived together. He was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 15 years. We hope you enjoyed today's video. 85% of our viewers aren't subscribed, so if this is the kind of content you come back for, just hit subscribe. It's the single biggest thing you can do to support the channel. If you want to keep watching more, check out one of the most intense cases we've ever covered right here, or catch up on our latest upload right here.